Welcome to my channel. In this video, following topics are discuss early life of the fourth rightly guided Caliph Ali and his services to Islam. May Allah be pleased with him. Please subscribe the channel to stay updated for more parts in this series. Efforts are made in making these videos, helps us spread the message by sharing and like our videos. Please comment for any suggestion or views. Your help is greatly appreciated. Thanks. Early life. Ali, 36, 41 AH 656, 661 AD. The fourth Caliph Ali was the son of Abu Talib, the Prophet's uncle, under whose guardianship the Prophet, after the death of his grandfather, Abdul Muttalib, was brought up. Abu Torab was his surname. He came of the clan of Banu Hashim. The Prophet belonged to the same clan. The high function of the sacred house of Kaaba was entrusted to this clan. Ali was born 10 years before the call of Muhammad, peace be upon him. Due to his poverty, Ali was brought up under the care of the Prophet. The Prophet loved him as a son and gave his daughter Fatima in marriage to him in the first or second year of the Hijrah. As Ali was brought up from his childhood in the house of the Prophet, he knew all about him, so when the Prophet invited men to accept his mission, Ali was among the foremost few who responded to his call. His services to Islam before accession. On the occasion of Hijrah, Ali was left at Makkah, and he played an important role in the history of Islam during this time. When the Prophet's house was surrounded by the enemies at night, just before his departure for Medina, he was asked by the Prophet to occupy his bed, and thereby the Prophet saved himself by slipping out in the dark of the night. When the besiegers saw Ali in the bed instead of the Prophet, they were greatly surprised, for they had nothing to do with him. They had resolved to take the life of the Prophet, but when the attempt was baffled, they retired to the previous life. Ali, as soon as the work was done, set out for Medina and rendered a great service there. Ali was gifted with an extraordinary measure of daring, which he devoted to the service of Islam. He took part in almost all the battles that were fought during the lifetime of the Prophet. At the Battle of Badr, he was the bearer of the Prophet's standard and showed great feats of bravery on this occasion. At the Battle of Uhud, which took place in the third year of the Hijrah, Ali was stuck to his ground. At the siege of Banu Qurayza, the standard of Islam was placed in the hands of Al. In the sixth year of the Hijrah, he discomfited the Banu Sa'd, who rallied round the standard of the Jews of Khaybar. At the Treaty of Hudaybiyah, he was also present and acted as a scribe. But of all the martial exploits of Ali, the most brilliant was the capture of Qamus, the famous fort of Khaybar. On this occasion, the task was first entrusted to Abu Bakr, then to Umar, and when both of them were unsuccessful in capturing the fort, the banner of Islam was placed in the hands of Ali, who turned the tide of the battle in the twinkling of an eye. With the fall of Makkah, when the Prophet entered the town headed by 10,000 strong, Ali took the standard from Sa'd, to whom it was first entrusted. At the Battle of Hunayn, he also played an important part. During the Tabuk expedition, he stayed at Medina under the Prophet's own order, and just after the revelation of the chapter of Tawbah, the Prophet wanted to communicate the news to the enemies on the occasion of the pilgrimage, and the task was imposed on Ali, who accordingly made the announcement on the occasion of pilgrimage. In the 10th year of the Hijrah, Ali was sent to carry the message of Islam to the people of Yemen, and it was due to his ability that Islam was, for the first time, preached in the province of Yemen. After the Prophet's demise, when all the Muslims swore allegiance to Abu Bakr, he could not be present on the occasion of election, for he had to console his wife at home, who was much shocked at her father's demise. Later on, he fully supported the cause of Abu Bakr and became his intimated friend. When some false prophets arose in Arabia, he took due part in the defense of the capital. After Abu Bakr's death, he swore allegiance to Umar, and to strengthen the tie of relationship further, he gave his own daughter, Kulthum, in marriage to Umar. He was a constant helper of Umar in the administration of the state. In the case of Uthman's election, he voted in favor of Uthman, and when Uthman was surrounded by enemies, he ordered his own son Hassan to keep watch at the gate of Uthman's house. With the death of Uthman, everything went out of order. Confusion and anarchy prevailed in the city of Medina. Of the three bands of insurgents, the Egyptian was the most powerful. After 5 days of anarchy, Ibn Saba, the Egyptian leader, supported the cause of Ali on the ground that he was the rightful Caliph, in whose favor the Prophet had made a bequest. On the 23rd of June, 656 A.D., Ali was saluted as Khalifa by the insurgents, and the public swore allegiance to him one by one. With the accession of Ali, there opens a new chapter in the history of Islam. After the election of Ali, the insurgents retired to their respective places. At the same time, the assassination of Uthman had been noised far and wide. The cry of revenge had resounded in every corner of Arabia for the blood of the Khalifa. Talha and Zubair requested the Khalifa to punish the assassins of Uthman. Ali, realizing the political condition of Arabia, especially of Basra, Kufa, and Fustat, refused to comply with their request, and told them that he would take necessary steps towards these assassins after restoring peace in the kingdom. Because to go against the insurgents at that time meant to disrupt the empire of Islam. The assassination of Uthman was not the work of a few individuals that they could be easily secured and executed. There were large bodies of men at the back of the conspiracy in all the three centers. Hence, he could not think it proper to take any action against the insurgents at that time. When the political sky was cloudy, he took another step to change all the governors in the hope that insurgents would be pleased with the new governors, and they would cease to raise the standard of rebellion in the long run. But many of his friends advised him not to take such a step before establishing himself as Khalifa. With regard to Muawiyah, they particularly asked him not to interfere with him. For the appointment of Muawiyah was not made by Uthman, but by Umar. In spite of this warning, Ali wanted to remove Muawiyah from the governorship of Syria. When he made up his mind to change the governors for the welfare of the state, he did not like to make an exception in the case of Muawiyah. He appointed Uthman bin Hanif as governor in place of Ibn Amir. Qais was posted in Egypt. The governors of Kufa and Syria were asked to give up their posts. The governor of Kufa agreed to tender his resignation, but Muawiyah, the governor of Syria, refused to obey the order. So dissension and dispute grew up between Ali and Muawiyah. At last, war preparations were begun by both the parties. At the beginning, Talha and Zubair demanded of Ali to punish the assassins of Uthman, but when Ali refused to comply with their demand, they advanced towards Basra for the collection of a vast army. On the way, they met Aisha, who was returning from pilgrimage, and informed her of the state of things in Medina. She waited for some time, but there was no hope of bringing the insurgents to book. She joined Talha and Zubair against Ali. She was shocked to hear of the murder of the aged and innocent Khalifa of Islam. The objects of these three were thus to chastise the assassins. They had no personal grudge against Ali, so when the preparations were complete, they marched from Makkah to Basra. When the news of these things reached Ali, he apprised the governor, Ibn Hanif, of all about it in a letter. The rebels entered the adjoining place and made Ibn Hanif prisoner. On the following day, a severe conflict raged throughout the city, which ended in the discomfiture of Ali's party, and so the government passed into the hands of the rebels.